And one of those things was a felony. And so I got arrested.
The eradicator of all the... A blindside attack!
How's that
The women's world champion. And this is just... Oh, no!
Shocked and bewildered as the bombshell news broke, Liv Morgan, one of WWE's brightest stars, made her first court appearance in connection to the sensational case of attempted murder involving none other than AEW's powerhouse, Jade Cargill. The story is sending shockwaves through both the WWE universe and the AEW fanbase, creating a frenzy of speculation, heated debates, and jaw-dropping revelations. In an industry where drama often unfolds inside the ring, this courtroom saga has pulled the curtain back on a real-life drama that no one saw coming. The courtroom atmosphere was electric as Liv Morgan, known for her charismatic presence and underdog spirit, stepped into the spotlight in an entirely different capacity. Dressed in a sleek black suit that exuded both confidence and a hint of vulnerability, Liv's entrance was met with the flashing lights of cameras and the murmur of reporters scrambling to capture every detail. For a moment, it felt as though the courtroom had transformed into an extension of the squared circle, with Liv Morgan as the unexpected main event. To understand the gravity of this case, we must rewind to this series of events that led to this unprecedented clash of wrestling titans outside the ring. Reports suggest that tensions between Liv Morgan and Jade Cargill had been simmering for months, fueled by cryptic social media posts, backstage whispers, and rumored confrontations. While wrestling fans initially chalked this up to the usual kayfabe drama, the truth turned out to be far more sinister. According to investigators, the incident in question allegedly took place following a heated altercation.
Cargill out for a few months. Now it looks like the rumors that Jade Cargill's kayfabe injury was set up to hide a real-life injury are true. PW Nexus is reporting, sources within PW Nexus are confirming Jade is indeed injured, as Dave Meltz has reported, and the 3-month time frame is a best-case scenario, and it's reportedly a neck injury. Her WrestleMania spot is currently in limbo due to this and could be out up to a year. But this is a major setback for Jade, who the WWE clearly has big plans for, as seen by her 2 tag team reigns with Bianca Belair. It's unknown what the WWE's WrestleMania plans for Cargill were, but given the way the WWE's hinted at a Jade-Bianca breakup, it's likely that they were planning a singles match between the two. Speaking of the Women's Tag Team Championship, it's unknown whether the WWE will strip Jade and Bianca of the titles or allow Belair to find a new partner. One thing is for sure, this latest injury to someone holding the title is certain to renew fan debate whether the tag titles are really cursed. Next up is Stephanie.
At a private event attended by several high-profile wrestling personalities, witnesses claim that words were exchanged, tempers flared, and what began as a verbal dispute escalated into an alleged act of violence that has now culminated in Liv Morgan facing accusations of attempted murder. The charges sent shockwaves through the wrestling community, not just because of their severity, but because they involved 2 women who have captivated fans in very different ways. As Liv Morgan took her place before the judge, her expression was a mixture of determination and disbelief. This is the same Liv Morgan who fought her way from obscurity to superstardom, capturing the hearts of millions with her resilience and authenticity. Fans have watched her triumph against seemingly insurmountable odds, both in and out of the ring. Now, however, Liv finds herself in a battle unlike any other, a battle for her freedom and her reputation. In her opening statement, Liv's legal team passionately argued that their client is innocent of all charges, painting a picture of a young woman caught in a web of misunderstanding and sensationalism. Liv Morgan is not just a wrestler, she's a role model, an inspiration, her attorney declared. She would never commit such a heinous act. These words were met with murmurs of agreement from a small group of fans who had gathered to show their unwavering support for Liv. Meanwhile, the prosecution wasted no time in presenting its case, describing Liv as someone whose emotions got the better of her in a moment of intense conflict. They claimed to have evidence that could potentially implicate her, including eyewitness testimonies and security footage. The details of this evidence remain under wraps, but the mere mention of it has fueled an endless stream of speculation on social media. Jade Cargill, who has reportedly been recovering from the incident, has yet to make a public statement, adding another layer of mystery to this already complex case. Her silence has led to countless theories, with fans and analysts alike trying to piece together what really happened that fateful night. Some believe this is all an elaborate misunderstanding, while others are convinced that there's more to this story than meets the eye. As the hearing progressed, Liv Morgan herself addressed the court in a moment.
Oh, there he goes with that again. Yeah, there's been a couple of these. Was it Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez once upon a time? And then I think there's been, obviously, because they bounced around from NXT to the main roster. And
Liv and Rhea. I never know.
Yeah, I think that might be actually. But yes, dealing with it right now, I guess. I too thought that there was going to be a storyline substitute, and both Bayley and Naomi would have made great substitutes in the fact that you could argue a case for both of them having committed the crime, or at least Bianca thinking Bayley had done it when really it was Naomi. Something like that.
Or even just someone random I'm going to see you're going to have to defend the tag titles against X group.
That will undoubtedly go down as one of the most dramatic in wrestling history. I have dedicated my life to entertaining people and being a positive influence, Liv said, her voice steady but tinged with emotion. I would never do anything to intentionally harm someone, let alone Jade, who I respect as an athlete and a person. This whole situation has been a nightmare, and I just want the truth to come out. Liv's authenticity and vulnerability shone through, reminding everyone of why she became such a beloved figure in the wrestling world in the first place. But would this heartfelt plea be enough to sway the judge and jury? That remains to be seen. The courtroom proceedings also revealed new layers to Liv Morgan's life outside the ring, shedding light on the intense pressures and challenges faced by professional wrestlers. Balancing fame, rigorous schedules, and personal relationships can take a toll, and this case has brought those struggles into sharp focus. Fans who had only seen Liv as a fearless competitor now see her as a human being grappling with unimaginable stress and adversity. As the case continues to unfold, the wrestling world finds itself at a crossroads. This isn't just about Liv Morgan and Jade Cargill. It's about the blurred lines between reality and performance, the immense scrutiny faced by public figures, and the consequences of living life under the relentless glare of the spotlight.
We're the Marks. On last Friday's episode of Smackdown, Jade Cargill was found unconscious backstage, slammed through the windscreen of a car. WWE later listed an almost comically long list of kayfabe injuries that she had sustained on their website. Both the Wrestling Observer and Fightful then reported this was actually an angle to write Cargill off TV to cover for an undisclosed injury. The Wrestling Observer said that even people high up in the company didn't know what the exact injury was, but that she could be out for up to 3 months. PW Nexus corroborated this, adding that the 3-month time frame was a best-case scenario, as it is actually a neck injury that could take up to a year to recover from. WWE's long-term plans for Cargill seemed in disarray. She had to be replaced in the Women's US title tournament. Her and Bianca Belair would likely have to relinquish the women's tag titles, and the seemingly year-long build for Cargill versus Bianca at WrestleMania would have to be delayed. Unless it's all a big fat worky McWork face.
Wrestling has always been a blend of scripted drama and real-life passion, but this case has shattered the illusion, revealing the raw, unfiltered reality behind the spectacle. For fans, this case has become a polarizing topic, with passionate debates erupting across social media platforms. Some have rallied behind Liv Morgan, creating hashtags like #FreeLiv and sharing heartfelt messages of support. Others have sided with Jade Cargill, expressing their outrage and demanding justice. The wrestling community, known for its unity and camaraderie, finds itself divided in a way that feels unprecedented. As we wait for the next chapter in this gripping saga, one thing is certain: the wrestling world will never be the same. Liv Morgan's court appearance has set the stage for a drama that transcends the confines of the ring, captivating fans and critics alike. Whether she emerges from this ordeal as a symbol of resilience or a cautionary tale remains to be seen, but one thing is clear: Liv Morgan is in the fight of her life, and the world is watching. The wrestling world thrives on the thrill of unexpected twists, shocking revelations, and dramatic rivalries. But every so often, a real-life incident transcends the scripted boundaries of the squared circle.
She puts Jade Cargill's well-being ahead of her own aspirations for the United States title and goes to check on her. Gotta respect and honor that. Bianca later jumps in the ambulance with Jade Cargill, while Bayley, Naomi, and a few concerned others looked on. Now the big question here is obviously, who attacked Jade Cargill? That's what everyone wants to know. And maybe the attack was right there when Jade Cargill was getting loaded into the ambulance. The predictable answer is the heels women's team of War Games. They want you to assume that it was just Nia Jax and Liv Morgan who collaborated with each other with this effort at taking out Jade Cargill,
sending ripples through the industry and shaking its very foundation. In this instance, the fallout from a high-profile backstage altercation involving the beloved superstars has created an electrifying buzz, sparking speculation about potential alliances, rivalries, and even the evolution of iconic characters. What started as a heated confrontation may well ignite a storyline that could redefine the future of professional wrestling. This is no ordinary wrestling controversy. It has captivated fans, divided opinions, and raised countless questions about the ramifications for everyone involved. As whispers of what truly transpired swirl through locker rooms and social media, fans are left wondering, how will this incident shape the trajectories of their favorite wrestlers? Could we see shocking betrayals, once-in-a-lifetime alliances, or rivalries that will go down in history as the most personal and heated ever? Let's dive deep into the possibilities. When rivalries transcend the wrestling ring, they often breathe new life into the characters involved. Take, for example, the potential for Liv Morgan and Jade Cargill, the two central figures in this explosive narrative, to emerge as fierce rivals on screen, feeding off the very real tension that reportedly exists between them. Wrestling is at its best when it blends reality with fiction, and this incident provides fertile ground for one of the most emotionally charged feuds in recent memory. Imagine a storyline where Liv and Jade are forced into a series of escalating matches, with each encounter becoming more brutal and personal. The crowd would eat it up, knowing that their animosity isn't just for show. This incident could also pave the way for unexpected alliances. Wrestling history is full of enemies turned allies, and the intensity of a real-life confrontation can often lead to unlikely partnerships. Liv Morgan, who has long been portrayed as the plucky underdog, could join forces with another wrestler who shares her disdain for Jade Cargill, creating a dynamic duo that would captivate audiences. On the flip side, Jade, known for her unshakable confidence and dominance, might find herself aligning with someone equally intimidating.
Heels don't really gain much from Jade Cargill not being in the match, but the one who does have a lot to gain from Jade's removal is Bayley. Considering that Io Sky came out to save Bayley and how Bayley was in the middle of the War Games setup brawl, it appears safe to assume that Bayley will be replacing Jade Cargill in War Games. So the fact that Bayley literally took Jade Cargill's spot, that's gonna make her look a little suspicious here, since she did benefit the most from Jade's injury and attack. However, it seems a little unlikely that it would be Bayley. Though Jade Cargill laid out backstage, it's clear that a lot of time passed since the attack had actually taken place,
to solidify her standing as an unstoppable force. What makes this situation even more intriguing is the potential for character evolution. Liv Morgan has always been beloved for her vulnerability and relatability, but this incident could push her into uncharted territory. If WWE decides to weave this real-life drama into her on-screen persona, Liv could undergo a dramatic transformation, shedding her underdog image to become a more hardened, vengeful character. Fans who have grown up cheering for Liv's perseverance would be fascinated to see her embrace a darker, more aggressive side, channeling her frustration and anger into her in-ring performances. Similarly, Jade Cargill, who has built her career on her unparalleled physicality and confidence, could use this incident to explore a more nuanced character. Perhaps we see a Jade who, despite her strength, grapples with vulnerability for the first time, humanizing her in the eyes of fans. This layered storytelling would add depth to both women's characters, creating compelling television that resonates with audiences on a deeper level. The fallout from this incident doesn't just stop at character development. It also opens the door for high-stakes matches that could become instant classics. Picture this: Liv Morgan and Jade Cargill settle their differences in a last woman standing match, a brutal contest where the only way to win is to incapacitate your opponents so they cannot answer the referee's 10 count. The drama, the physicality, and the emotional stakes of such a match would be off the charts, creating a spectacle that fans would talk about for years. Or consider a Hell in a Cell match, where the two competitors are locked inside a steel cage with no escape. This stipulation would allow them to unleash their fury on each other in an environment designed to test their endurance and resolve.
Next up, bad news for Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill was seemingly written off TV this week on SmackDown as she was brutally attacked in the parking lot by a mystery assailant. And now WWE have issued a subsequent statement on Cargill, and it looks like she will be out of action for an undisclosed amount of time. After suffering a mysterious attack on SmackDown, WWE Women's Tag Team Champion Jade Cargill has been diagnosed with numerous injuries, including deep lumbar paraspinal muscle contusions, a bruised kidney, a sprained MCL in her right knee, a tibia plateau bone bruise of her right knee, and facial lacerations. Now, there is no timetable for a return at this time. Make sure to follow all WWE social media platforms as the story develops. Now, this obviously sounds kayfabe, but in yet another plot development, it transpires that Cargill's injury is somewhat legitimate, as Fightful Select is reporting that the storyline is to cover for her real-life injury. More details on Cargill's status will likely be available in the coming days, but as for now, all we can do is wish one half of the current women's tag team champions a very speedy recovery. Now,
Such a match wouldn't just be about wrestling. It would be about survival, showcasing the raw intensity that makes professional wrestling so captivating. But the possibilities don't end there. A no-holds-barred match could give Liv and Jade the freedom to use any weapon at their disposal, adding an element of unpredictability to their rivalry. These stipulations aren't just about raising the stakes. They're about creating moments that become etched in wrestling lore, moments that fans replay and discuss for decades to come. Beyond the immediate drama and excitement, this incident also has the potential to shape the long-term legacies of both wrestlers. For Liv Morgan, this could be a defining chapter in her career, one that solidifies her place as a trailblazer who overcame immense adversity. Whether she emerges as the hero who triumphed against overwhelming odds or the anti-hero who embraced her darker impulses, this storyline could become a cornerstone of her legacy, ensuring her name is remembered alongside the greats of the industry. For Jade Cargill, this incident could be equally transformative. If she uses this as an opportunity to showcase her resilience and adaptability, it could elevate her status from a dominant performer to a multifaceted superstar. Fans and critics alike would view her in a new light, appreciating not just her physical prowess, but also her ability to navigate complex, high-pressure situations. It's important to note that the ripple effects of this drama won't just be felt by Liv and Jade. The wrestling industry as a whole could see a shift in how it approaches storytelling, blending real-life events with fictional narratives in a way that feels fresh and innovative. Fans crave authenticity, and this incident provides a unique opportunity to deliver a storyline that blurs the lines between reality and performance, creating an experience that feels genuinely unpredictable. As we look ahead, the question remains, how will this saga unfold? Will Liv Morgan and Jade Cargill put their differences aside and find common ground, surprising everyone with a heartfelt reconciliation? Or will their animosity continue to grow, culminating in one of the most intense rivalries wrestling has ever seen? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain: this story has already left an indelible mark on the wrestling world, and its impact will be felt for years to come. For fans, this is the kind of drama that keeps them coming back for more, reminding them why they fell in love with wrestling in the first place. It's about more than just the moves and the matches. It's about the stories, the characters, and the emotions that make this sport unlike any other. This incident, with all its twists and turns, has all the ingredients of a classic wrestling tale, one that will be talked about, debated, and celebrated long after the final bell has rung.